Hey everyone, and welcome. In project leadership, there's this one skill that really separates the pros from the amateurs. The big successes from the, well, technically perfect failures. Today, we're diving deep into that very skill, mastering stakeholder management. But let me kick things off with a question for you. What if I told you the single biggest reason projects fail has absolutely nothing to do with budgets or timelines or even technology?
Okay, let's just jump right in with a foundational truth that honestly changes everything. You can deliver a project on time, under budget, and nail every single part of the scope, and it can still be seen as a total failure. How? Well, it all comes down to this one really powerful idea. Success isn't about what's in your spreadsheets. It's about what the key people involved think and feel about the final outcome.
Right. So this is where things get super interesting. We're going to explore this paradox. Why a project that checks every single technical box can still be a complete bust if the stakeholders, the people with the real power to support or totally obstruct your work, aren't on board and happy.
So, how in the world do we manage this human element? Well, you need a framework, and the Project Management Institute gives us a really powerful one for wrangling this human variable. This isn't about just making a list of names, not at all. It's about seeing your stakeholders as this dynamic fields of forces that can either launch your project forward or just stop it dead in its tracks.
Now, what's really wild about this is that stakeholder management isn't some task you just check off a list. No way! It's like the heartbeat of the entire project. It's pretty much the only knowledge area that kicks off before the project is even officially a thing, and it keeps going all the way to that final sign-off. It's a continuous feedback loop that keeps the project pointing toward what the organization actually values.
To manage these forces, first you got to understand them, and it really breaks down into 4 key variables. You've got power, that's their formal authority. Influence, that's how much they actually care about the outcome. Influence, their ability to get others on their side, which is often informal. And then there's expectations. Now that's the crucial one. It's like the unwritten rule book they're going to use to judge your success in the end.
Okay, so let's grab our main tool and see how this all builds into a real strategy. This right here is the power/interest grid. It's how we go from just listing people to creating a smart, data-driven plan. See, you don't treat everyone the same. Those high-power, high-interest folks, you have to manage them closely. But what about the high-power, low-interest people? Your job is just to keep them satisfied so their power doesn't suddenly turn against you. This isn't about making everyone happy. It's about using your limited political capital with surgical precision.
Now, let's make this real. We're going to apply this exact framework to our running case study, the construction of a big, state-of-the-art high-rise office tower. This is going to show you exactly how these kind of abstract concepts play out in a really high-stakes environment.
First up, let's look at the client's CFO. Their power, it's high. They're holding the purse strings. Their interest, also high. They need to see a return on this massive investment. And their influence is high all across the executive team. So here's the key takeaway. Our strategy has to be managed closely, feeding them detailed ROI data to speak directly to their biggest concerns.
Now, let's contrast that with the government inspector. They also have high power. They can literally shut down the entire project with one piece of paper. But their interest, it's low. They don't care about our ROI. They only care about technical compliance with the building code. So the strategy isn't managing closely, it's keep satisfied. You give them exactly what they need. Clear, factual compliance reports. No fluff, no more, no less.
And this one brilliantly shows you the critical nature of informal influence. The local community has low formal power. They can't sign off on a single thing, but their interest is super high. They're the ones living with all the construction noise. And their ability to protest, get the local media involved, and cause all sorts of delays gives them high influence. So what's the strategy? Keep informed with proactive town hall meetings. Manage their concerns before they can blow up your schedule.
Okay, so we've got the foundational tools down. Now let's level up. We're moving into the subtle arts of organizational politics and the very specific, disciplined logic you need to master for professional certification exams like the PMP. Seriously, this is what separates the pros from the amateurs.
In any organization, the org chart only tells you half the story. A real pro learns to see the informal power structure. You've got to identify these shadow stakeholders, people with no official project title but who have immense influence because of their expertise, their relationships, or just their long history with the company. Ignoring these political undercurrents is one of the fastest ways to get blindsided by resistance you never ever saw coming. Okay, now for a classic exam trap, but honestly it's more of a professional discipline trap, the action before analysis trap. A stakeholder raises a concern. The amateur's impulse is to immediately call a meeting or promise a quick solution. Wrong. PMI logic is disciplined. First, you document the issue in the stakeholder register. Then, you analyze its potential impact on the whole project. And only after that disciplined assessment do you come up with a response. Assess first, act second. Always.
The exam will also test your precision with words, because precision in language really reflects precision in your thinking. Is a stakeholder concern happening right now? That's an issue, and it goes in the issue log. Might it happen in the future? Well, that's a risk for the risk register. And please, never confuse the engagement plan, which is your strategy for influencing people's attitudes and behaviors, with the communications plan, which is just the mechanics of how you'll send out information. They are not the same thing.
Okay, let's bring it all home. We're going to lock in the absolute foundational rules of the game. These aren't just tips. These are the 5 non-negotiable pillars of stakeholder management that you can build your entire career on. So let's make them count.
Pillar 1, perception is reality. Say it with me. Your project is only successful if its key stakeholders believe it is. Their satisfaction is your ultimate unshakable metric. It's not about being right, it's about being seen as successful by the people who matter.
Pillar 2, identify continuously. This is not a one-and-done thing you do at kickoff. People come and go. Allies can become blockers. Roles change. Your stakeholder map is a living, breathing document, and you have to be constantly scanning the horizon for shifts in the political landscape.
Pillar 3, analyze before you plan. This is that core PMI discipline we were just talking about. Your strategy has to come from data, power, interest, influence. It can never come from a gut reaction. Let the analysis guide your actions, and you'll always have a solid reason for your decisions.
Pillar 4, prioritized by impact. Look, you have a finite amount of time, energy, and political capital. Do not waste it. Focus your efforts like a laser on the stakeholders who have the definitive power and interest to change your project's course, for better or for worse.
And finally, Pillar 5, collaborate on conflict. Your job as a leader isn't to pick sides or dictate what happens. It's to be a facilitator. When stakeholders have competing needs, your role is to bring them to the table and help them forge a win-win solution that protects the project's ultimate goals.
So, you've mastered the human ecosystem. You know exactly who to talk to, when, and why. Your engagement strategy is a thing of beauty. But even a perfect strategy is going to fail if the message itself isn't delivered effectively. Which leaves us with one final, really critical question to think about. How are you actually going to deliver that message?